What's up, guys? Today on How Not to Be a Goomba. Really, actually, just have a few things I thought of this morning. Um, One of the bigger things I came to realize this morning as I was just sitting there thinking, meditating, what I truly learned from my time in Hill City and from that negative experience. Not that I didn't know what I learned before, but it came to a full realization of, hey, that is the skill I acquired. And what it was because I got so used to feeling malice from the entire town, I learned how to be able to pick out liars very easily and be able to read the energy of people very, very easily, which is part of why I tend to get the truth out of most people on anything, just because I understand auras and I myself have an imposing aura. I don't lie. I don't treat people unfairly. I give everyone exactly what they deserve, which is why I know I don't have any enemies. And for me, that is a plus. That is a wonderful thing because I know for a fact that nobody in the world wants my head, wants my neck, wants to harm me. As now, I'm not saying there aren't people that have negative feelings towards me. Yes, yes, there's no way to go about having to show some cruelty or having to be unkind to someone to live. It's part of life. But I don't do evil to anyone. I never I never show malice. I never give anyone malice until they have given me malice. And at that point, I take it to the level that it is desired. Now, I will say there was one person that got far more evil out of me than she deserved. Well, kind of. Not really. It was a little girl I worked with, and when I worked at McDonald's, she spoiled little brat, just did not want to do her job, consistently tried to get out of everything she could and just be lazy and just be a fucking rat. Would absolutely start screaming, just flip the fuck out. So one day I flipped the script and I tore her apart. I tore her soul apart and I picked her apart by single minute every single minute insecurity that she had within herself, and I destroyed that little girl's soul for about an hour and a half. She ended up crying and damn well having a seizure, almost just convulsing. And I eventually remedied the situation and went and talked to her and made it better. But back to what I actually learned. I learned how to sense malice because I had a lot directed towards me between my brother, my father, cousin sleeping with the sheriff's wife. No, the entire little town. Screw that kid. Screw that kid. And you know what? I'm thankful for it now because it made me very strong. It made me very, very honest and very, very, well, strong. There's more to it, but it's not quite coming right now. But I learned how to read people and their facial expressions and catch just the tiniest hints of anything. Part of it I also learned from my mom when she was going through her schooling and getting her degree with a double bachelor's in criminal psychology, which was really cool. So I learned a lot of the literal things, but I know more about it than I know because I just have the recognition of what it is rather than being able to list, okay, here's 30 signs when someone is lying. I know all the basics, but maybe I should do a video on that. Do a little research that way I can actually properly convey the information to you guys. God damn, I am itchy today. But in other news, I got my Dollar Shave Club today, which was really cool. Yeah. I had ordered I went ahead and signed up for it since I'm gonna have to be clean shaven and looking my damnedest when I start with insurance. So figured why not? Hell, I found out it's actually only $9 a month, which is way, way, way cheaper than razors. Like, oh my god. I mean, to go get a pack of 4 of my Gillette razors that I like at Walmart or anywhere is like $25. I get a pack of 4 sent to me every month now for $9. I'm okay with that. And they're delivered to my house at that, so woohoo. Oh, there was something else too I was thinking about this morning. Oh yeah, I finally decided on the next name of my channel and the name of the next chapter in my story. And instead of how not to be a Goomba, it's going to be thank you for your time. And a large part of that and why I decided that thank you for your time would be an amazing name for my channel is because, well, quite frankly, thank you for your time. This entire channel is about me, my life, and what I'm doing in it, and what I'm learning, and what I'm studying, and my journey into business, passive incomes, insurance, and just what I'm doing to better myself and how I'm spending my time. So, to everyone who, excuse me, gives me that little bit of time, that little bit of their life, that bit of themselves that they can never give back, I thank you for it from the bottom of my heart. And I mean that. I mean that wholeheartedly. Because I know how much time I've lost and I've lost just due to games, technology, avoiding actually being in my own head. There's so much more I could have learned even just about myself in sense ever actually, because I had so many negative things going on and I just stayed in the negative and I couldn't find a way to be positive and I didn't try to. I really didn't. I Before I went in the Navy, that was my alpha and my omega, my oh Deus Machina. It was my thing. Nothing else mattered to me as long as that happened. And maybe that's part of why I had the few little issues when I got in that I did. Never had any issues with work, never had any issues with people, just a few of the small things. Literally that. It was little shit like being 2 minutes late every once in a while. Now, that's perfectly acceptable and perfectly understandable, but when I was in a situation that I was trying to get my boss to do his job, and the thing that he's worried about me going above him and making sure he does his job could cost him his job. Those types of little mistakes weren't allowed. And the irony in that is I did everything in my power before going in the Navy to ensure that there were no small mistakes, that nothing was going to prevent me. And I kind of sacrificed my life to technology in the attempt to make sure that happened, and I succeeded. In hindsight, I could have spent way more time just doing stuff and living life, but I didn't. So there's nothing I can do about it. I just need to make sure I live the rest of my life to the fullest and stop giving away my time. Because I still give away too much of my time, in my opinion, to technology. Now, not that technology is bad, but it's on pointless content, nothing but consumerism. Not all of it is on intelligible content and something that is going to teach me something. Not always learning, if you will. And that is the basis of all. Knowledge is power. It always has been and always will be. We as humans, our greatest feature is our intellect. So it has to be that. The more knowledgeable you are, the more things you know, the more things you can do. How often do you guys say, I don't know how to do that? How often do you say, I don't know to something that you have to do or need to do, and then get to it and get started on it, just trying to figure out what the hell you're doing, and you figure out what the hell you're doing? Humans are awesome. We are learning creatures. The amount of things you can learn in just a day, if you truly just want to learn them, is astounding. Hell, insurance is something that was completely foreign to me and completely Greek. Something I thought I would never understand, ever. And that's purely because of how well I processed information, how good I was at school. I slept through school and got A's. I wasn't a complete dickhead, but I was a bullied kid. I didn't want to deal with my classmates. I did my I did my assignments in class, and later on in high school, I if I didn't get it done in school, I didn't do it. Just the way it was. Never did homework. And maybe that was part of my problem too, that I didn't do homework. So I never strengthened that little bit of will, persistence, or drive, because I did learn things easily. Drive and determination is something I have a lot of issues with personally, because I've always come to things easily. Not that I ever give up, not that I ever surrender. I'm a stubborn motherfucker, but just holding myself accountable for a lot of things is difficult for me, because it's a skill I haven't trained because I didn't have to. And I'm working on it. And that's one of my biggest things. Like I said with my goal in my last video, giving up my sins of sloth and pointless content. Because most of my life I have observed innumerable hours of pointless content. Now, I enjoyed the games and I still enjoy games, and I'm not saying anything against video games. They're a great way to relax and enjoy yourself for a bit. However, I indulged far, far, far too much, and that's where my time went. Hell, I played enough games with a high enough difficulty. If it's not a first person shooter, I guarantee you I can beat it. Dark Souls is the only one I haven't, as far as even within my own category. I just didn't want to put the time in because I didn't like the controls. They were wonky, they were slow. And I realized I could have figured out the timing and gotten to it, but I like Devil May Cry, which is far faster, as well as Bayonetta, which is just far, far faster pace rather than methodical and timing. But didn't want to carry on too much. I'll officially change the name of the channel once I actually get accepted for my, well, not accepted. I actually get my license. I got a hold of them today and found out they were actually missing some information concerning my court case, so I emailed them back that today, and I should find out more tomorrow. I might actually be licensed tomorrow. Hell, I could have been licensed today if the PDF file for my order of dismissal, when I sent it to them, I sent it with a forward from the message or from the email that I received. However, it did not go through, so I resent it after I took the PDF file and saved it to my phone. So hopefully it worked. If I find out it didn't tomorrow, I'll get up first thing in the morning and send it on my computer, because my computer's not an asshole. My phone is an asshole. Because I really got to hammer down on my Liberty National, make sure I got everything fine tuned. I haven't studied it nearly as much as I